Shut up and sit down.
Hello folks, Colin here, Festa 67's workshop. Welcome to issue 87 of Build the Legendary Cyborg ROBOCOP from our good old friends over at Fanhome. Now, if you'd like to build this beautiful 1/3 scale model, who wouldn't, head over to their website. There's a clickable link in the description below. Pop. And you too can have this on your bench. Right, let's have a quick scope through this week's magazine. Got the history of ROBOCOP there. 3 months to create 2028, it says there. Beyond Toronto there, nice little data file in history. We're now doing stage 2 of the neck. You've got head joint supports, friction blocks, and a front panel there for the head joint. You're going to need your torso and arms from the previous issue. And then pay attention to this. This is all your friction cups and joints going in, ready to support the head, folks. Yes. Shows you where it's going to go there, how this all fits together. And then we got a little switch going through the switch holder. And then that's going to go into the plastic section there. And we will save this for fixing to the model in a future issue, folks. This is what it's going to look like today, and this is where this neck joint's going to live, right up just below his canister there, folks. Okay. Next up, you've got 100 years of robots there. Looking rather sinister, aren't they? Sonic fire extinguishers there in the cutting edge technology section. Drone technology, massive leaps in drone technology. A good friend of mine, Bill, is a drone flyer, and they use this a lot now in mountain rescue as well as hunting for body recovery, things like that, as well as surveying large areas if they're looking for missing persons. So it's really wonderful that the drone community are getting involved in this, because yeah, I can see this potentially having a huge impact. One thing I can think that it would be used for is the case of the Moors murders in the UK, where they're still trying to track disturbed ground and that. And I think sending drones over the Moors might help them with some penetrating radar technology to perhaps bring some closure there for the families, folks. But there you go. We've also got firefighting possibilities there. Obviously, with the forest fires, sending the drones over would be a good idea to see where the fires are going and that. So it's huge potential, folks. So that's the magazine done. We'll move that to one side. We'll bring in the parts and we'll start a bit of assembly, folks. Right, so here's what we've got. We've got all of these bits and bobs here. So let's just line these up as per the magazine so I don't get lost. Large cup, small cup, joint. We got our switch up there and our bracket. And we got this front piece here. And we got some BP screws today, folks. I've got my oiler just to one side. Nice and ready. So we'll look at that. And we want this section, our large friction block, and then on top of it, the small one, like so. We've gotten used to doing these now, folks, so we kind of know how they're going to go. We then want to bring in the joint, and then we want to check this peg lines up with this hole, okay? So let's just orientate that with the peg part of this holding up that way, because it's going to locate in this little cutout here. Okay, see it right down in there where that peg is. It's quite crucial that we orientate that correctly. Now, these are always a bit of a tight fit, these things. So I tend to put the pin in first, and then I'll go for a screw. So let's just rest that there. Let's grab a BP screw now. Like that. Bit of oil. And then whilst holding that together, let's send a screw in there. We'll get a good few turns on it first, just to get it to bite. And then we'll do the other two. And then we can go round and we can sequentially tighten them down until that joint's nice and tight. Bear in mind it's holding the weight of the head, so you do want it to be quite tight. It says clearly in the instructions, make it as tight as you can make it. The temptation with these is you'll think that it's a bit too tight, so you'll back it off. But you do actually want it really tight. There you go. So let's grab the next one. Bit of oil. And then we'll drop that in the bottom there. There you go. Now we can go around and start tightening these all up. This one seems a lot easier than the shoulder and the hip joints because if you remember rightly, they're quite a challenging fit. But this one does seem to have gone in quite nicely. So I think they've done a slight revision as they've gone on with this series of Partworks. There you go. So that's as tight as we can make it. And it's in the exact position that it needs to be. So I'm happy with that. Let's give that a little tweak. Perfect. And then we can just tighten that one up there. Like that. So that's that done. We then want that to go on this neck joint here. And we want it with this facing us, like so, okay? And rest that just in there. And that's going in with a pair of BP screws as well, folks, okay? So let's grab two of those. I'll get a bit of oil on them. Let's just bring that round that way. Just like so. And we're going in the top holes. I'm just nipping that in place, just to hold that in situ. Bit of oil on this one. Pop. And then we can fit that in place. Just like that. Now we can tighten this side. You'll notice I'm just supporting this in my hand because it is a bit fragile. I don't want to put any undue pressure on it. Take the opportunity of grabbing the next screw with some oil. And then we'll close this off now with this piece. It's straight on there like that. Straight in and locate. And again, BP screws to secure that in place, folks. Just like so. Grab this one. And that's that done. So that's what you're going to end up with there. And now we can just move that around like so. tighten that screw down now in the middle. There you go. And that's that neck joint ready to go, folks. That's that in place. And then what we've got then is we got our little wire, which is this piece, and that is going to feed into this joint. So we want it orientated that way round. Feed that through and send that tactile switch just in place. Like that, and then give it a goodly press. Just to locate that in its new home. Okay? And that's that. And that's going to get attached in the next issue, folks. Okay? So that's where we are today. That's what we're up to. We've got the big old robo hands. We've got a neck joint gone in. That's now ready for the head to attach. As you can see, that's nice and solid. But once the cap goes on and the weight of his head's on there, that will move quite freely, folks. Okay? So, don't forget, if you'd like to grab this for yourself and build one of these beautiful 1/3 scale models, head over to the Fanhome website. There's a clickable link in the description below. And you too can have one of these on your bench. Also, to help me out, if you can just click little fester in the corner there and subscribe to the channel, I'll be immensely grateful. Whilst you're there, ring the bell and select all. That way you'll get notified of future content. In the meantime, thank you so much for coming in and keeping me company. Stay safe and well. Bye-bye for now. Look at it. Clean the fingerprints, Colin. Oh.